Are you struggling with the concept of suffering and searching for answers? Well, if you are, you might have just come to the right place. My name's Sean Hills, and this is A Soul's Experience, a channel dedicated to helping the human race remember who we really are. Now, this channel was made to help with the Great Awakening, a period that we are in right now, where so many of us are starting to wake up. But there is one question that we keep batting our heads against the wall with, and that is, why suffering? Why pain? And do we really need to experience suffering down here on earth to have a life? I really want to bring some potential closure to some of this suffering, and if not closure, then answer some of those questions and maybe potentially bring some comfort to some people that are still in pain right now. So I've been watching this clip up here. I've been doing lots of research over the past couple of days, sitting in meditation, and I was actually given some really good insights from the spirit world. But as I was sat there over the past couple of days, it just seems sometimes there's divine intervention. And this clip right here, I've never heard of Dead Talk, the podcast, but this podcast right here, Dead Talk, it just popped on. My intuition led me to it. And they started answering and asking some of these exact questions about pain, suffering, evil people. Do evil people go to heaven? What happens to, consciousness when it's taken up these kind of evil acts? Is our soul destroyed in the process? Can our soul be hurt? All of these crazy questions, like, they're so far out there and they're so complex. These questions are so complex that we really, really struggle as the human being to identify with this answer or that answer. There never seems to be an answer that really, really quenches our thirst for that particular piece of knowledge. However, we are constantly looking at things through a human perspective. And what I want us to do is just see things from the spiritual perspective for a second. And this clip here does this beautifully. So, trigger warning, those of you that are in pain right now, you might not like what you're about to hear.
Okay, so you just kind of answered my next thought as you were speaking. So the people that are doing those quote-unquote terrible things, they're still jumping on board the same train that's going to have this wonderful experience.
Well, ultimately, yes. Because the way that Spirit have said it to me is like, this world is meant to have polarity. There's meant to be good and bad, because that's the experience our soul desires, because spirit world is a place of perfection. And within that polarity, there are going to be good people and bad people, but that's all part of the design in the way it's meant to be. And people don't get punished for terrible things. The punishment happens when they're here. Hell is something that can happen on earth, but the spirit world is, to me, always a place of perfection. That light can never be tainted. It can never go out. That light can never be diminished from what it is. Person can be very disconnected from their light when they're here, and that can lead them to do terrible things. But the light never gets any darker. It's just something they lose touch with during the time that they're here.
Got it. So pretty much anyone that's bad right now is just bad here, and then on the other side, they're not going to be causing chaos in whatever world we're going to next.
I don't believe in evil spirits. And this is such a can of worms to open up, because hauntings absolutely are real. And this is where the layers of energy get really complex. But layers of a person's life and a person's experience and a soul's experience can be left behind and can interact with this world, and the parts that aren't light enough to ascend with the soul to the spirit world can stay and appear as consciousness, even if it isn't actually consciousness and it's more so a mind repeating itself, or energy that's been programmed to repeat over and over again and interact in the way it did when it was here. It's something that the soul has kind of left behind and then comes back to in its next incarnation.
Oh, let me see if I'm understanding this. So the hauntings are those things that you're saying are real and do happen. That's just a piece left over, as opposed to it being something demonic on the other side causing havoc.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is it left over? Did I miss that part?
Well, because it's like the vibration that it operates at is too heavy to go where the soul is going.
Oh, it's like a filter.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I can't take this bit with me because this is a pure place. So that stays in a more earthly realm, which is why we can feel those things so easy, why they can be so tangible. But they appear conscious because they're programmed by a consciousness, but the consciousness isn't within it anymore.
Oh, that's wild. It's like almost like a spiritual TSA. They're like checking your bags before you go through.
Pretty much. When you're first opening up, there's no way to kind of just like see that. It's just this appears like something conscious is interacting with me, and you can't help but feel it that way. But there's a lot of amazing mentors who've helped me understand how this all works along the way and help me open up to perceiving it accurately. Because when you're doing it by yourself, you can't really get things right all the time. You're going to misinterpret a lot, and the realms of energy are so infinitely complex. But one thing that I know with absolute certainty is like the light that we are born out of is what we return to, and that is something that can never be tainted.
And that there's nothing that will change your mind on that. Because I know you're talking about there's an interpretation part of this process when it comes to connecting to the other side, like that communication. As you're explaining the light, that just is. There's no communication, but there's no doubt in your mind. Like at this point in your life, you're like that is what it is.
I used to be the other way inclined, and I think it gets really, really complex because I also think there's other beings here that exist on other dimensions that we can also interact with as well, but that they're also not the spirit world. The spirit world is that place of pure consciousness. So
what are these beings? Like how do you interpret that?
Well, I feel like there's layers and dimensions on top of each other, and beings can incarnate, and we can incarnate into a myriad of different forms and types, and there's no limits to the soul in the way that I have experienced them. And like nature spirits, anything, there's so many things, and within that there's also polarity. There's good and bad, and all of it comes from a place of divine consciousness wanting to create, but the way it experiences itself when it's here is very complex.
And so if we're coming from a place, that light, whatever the other side is, of perfection, as you put it, and just light and positivity or love or whatever vibration you want to correlate to, why would we I understand the idea of maybe coming here to learn and evolve, but if we're already perfect up there, what's the point of even coming here?
Because apparently that gets boring after a while.
I've always said that. Okay.
It's like because of how little weight our soul holds upon this experience, the perspective it holds is so different to the person here actually experiencing it. It's like watching a movie, And what would be a good movie if there were no good and bad things? It's all about the highs and lows and appreciation through going through those darker experiences, and the evolution that happens and the understanding of the perspective that happens only happens through going through lows and highs, because over there it is just like this euphoric bliss all the time.
Yeah, there's a comedian, Jim Jeffries, literally said that. He's like, I don't care about if it's eternal. Eventually, you're going to get bored. So you're literally spitting something Jim Jeffries said. I always thought that was funny.
Well, there you go, guys. Wow. Some really, really deep but amazing questions there, and important questions. These are the questions that everyone is asking at the minute. Since this great awakening has started, we've started to see our own divine power. And because we've started to see our own divine power, we have started to question more, which is great. However, that questioning can and often leads to traumatic answers that we're not ready for, because we're basing these answers on experiences that we've had in our human experience, not from our spiritual perspective. So, if we look from the spiritual perspective, what can we see that they're saying here? We're seeing that what they're saying is that who we are truly, our soul, our oversoul, that spiritual part of us, that eternal part of us, is perfect, pure, undamaged, and unaffected, always returning back to pure love, pure consciousness, and peace, a type of nirvana that has been spoken about, a type of heaven that has been spoken about. They also say that this world is dreamlike, that when we pass back home, it's like waking up from a dream almost, that, oh, that wasn't actually real. The guy says that from our soul perspective, that the experience down here on earth is so minuscule compared to eternity, that there is actually nothing truly that can affect us, because it is such a tiny, tiny part of our journey. You see, we are in the polarity of time and space. Yeah, we are in that game of time and space, where each day, if you're in pain, can feel like a lifetime. And each lifetime, if you're enjoying it, can feel like a day, a mere moment in time and space. So it's perspective. But also written into the rules of game is we have to come from the perspective of the human. And what it sounds like from this young man, this medium who's doing great works out there, it seems, and not afraid to give his truthful answer. Now, his truthful reality is true unto him, and it may not feel true to you right now. And I'm saying that with the deepest of respect for all those who are suffering. Trust me, every single human being on this planet has suffered or will suffer. So it seems that we signed up for this, to come here. And the way I was shown it in spirit, and I want to talk about that now, I was shown a human body. And my sequence of numbers, I always see my angel numbers are 1111. As above, so below. And that really rings true. And I say it in a lot of my videos, as above, so below. If I want to understand what's happening down here, I must go from the macro to the micro, from the universe to the cell. And in doing that, I can start to see repeated patterns. I can start to see things that are not coincidences, but representations. So I was shown the human body, and I was shown the part of the body, our organs, our skin. I was shown that as the living plants, the animals, the earth itself. Then I was shown the mind, the thinking mind. I was shown the thinking cells, the neurons. I was shown that as souls. That's what I was shown as thinking souls. That part that wants to question, that is aware. That's us, all them neurons, all them synapses firing. That is us, that's the souls. That's what I was shown. Then I was shown the body going into a gym. Maybe because I work out, you know, spirit will often try and associate something we're familiar with. I work out all the time. So I was shown this body going into a gym. And I was shown this body working out, maybe doing some big heavy squats, maybe some big deadlifts or some big bench presses. And I heard the cells in the brain going, out! Stop! That hurts! What are you doing, God? Because God was the body. I was shown the universe as the body. That's what I was shown. And the souls were the thinking cells, the neurons. And the neurons were saying, ouch! Ow! You're tearing my muscles. You're tearing my fibre. This hurts. The lactic acid is building up. What are you doing, God? What are you doing putting me in so much pain? And I was shown that body a year later, stronger, fitter, healthier, lifting them weights like it was nothing. And the cells of the brain going, oh, now I understand, God, what you were doing. You were making us healthier. You were making us stronger. When you were lifting them weights at the time, that year ago, when we was in pain, I was screaming for you to stop. I thought you were hurting us, God. I thought you were hurting us, God. I thought you were putting us in pain, God. Because the human thinking brain, what does that want us to do? Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Yes, the cells in the brain, the souls. Yeah, give me sugar. Give me drugs. Give me alcohol. Give me pleasure. Give me sex. Give me movies. Give me entertainment. Give me fast cars. Give me flights. Give me everything at the push of a button. Have a dishwasher do my washing up for me. Oh, pleasure, pleasure, relaxation, pleasure, pleasure. Relaxation, yes, God, give me this, give me this. And then you're destroying the body. by giving all that pleasure, just by pleasing the cells, the thinking cells, the souls, just by pleasing them, giving everything that they want, you're destroying the God. Where is the growth? Where is the evolution? Where are the new muscles? Where's the new strength? It doesn't exist because you didn't go through that pain. That's what I was shown. I was shown that we don't always understand as these little cells. We are cells of the universe as human beings. As little cells, we do not understand sometimes the pain we are in. We cannot see into the future what God is making for us. Yet there is a plan, a beautiful plan for our benefit. And we might not see it, and we might scream, "Oh, why are you plunging my body into an ice bath? Oh my God, this is freezing. This is freezing cold. God, what are you doing, hurting us, throwing us into this ice bath?" An hour later, the inflammation starts to calm down. The health benefits start to rise. "Oh, now I see, God, what you were doing. You weren't torturing us. You were helping us. You were lowering our inflammation. You were creating better circulation so we may heal, so we may grow." We may not always see the pain for what it is at the time. When you look inside of a car engine, is it nice and beautiful? Is that what makes the car move? No. Mini explosions, bang, 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 on the pistons. Mini explosions, bang, bang, bang. Bang. That spark, that destruction, that violence. That's what gets the car moving. That's what gets us moving. And it hurts. But that's what we signed up for down here. Do you really think I would have this channel, or have had my awakening, if I didn't go through all of the trauma that I went through as a child? If my mum was still alive, if I didn't end up homeless in addiction, if I didn't end up going to prison multiple times, if I didn't end up on the boot of society, living in the woods, living in the gutter, around the rats, stealing food out the shops every day to survive. I was on the bottom of the boot of society through my 20s. Couldn't get any lower. That guy you'd walk past in the street wouldn't even acknowledge. Wearing the same clothes for 6 months straight. Haven't had a change for 6 months where I'm on the streets. And this is back, you got to remember this is 18 years ago, so there was no food bank. There was no services to go have a wash and get free food. None of that existed. The church in my local area would open up once a month, every third Sunday of the month, for a hot meal. That's the only help I got when I was homeless in my 20s. One hot meal a month. Everything else, you're a young man, I'm sorry, but there you go. The government ain't got no time for you. And that's God's honest truth. And I lived in that victimhood for years. Drinking, drugs, I'm a victim. Oh, my mum died when I was a kid. I got put in the care system. I had no hope. How could God give me this hand as a little teenage boy, as a little young boy? How could you throw me into the care system with no family, no father, no mother, no siblings, nothing? No love. How could you take my loving parents from me? How could you leave me out on the streets of London at 14 years old with no one to look after me, no one to give me a cuddle at night? 14. I lived in that victim mentality for years, but guess what? All of that trauma, all of that struggle, it led me to a point where I looked up at the sky and I screamed to God, "You heal me or you kill me." And guess what? I'm still here. And God healed me. From that moment, I screamed in pain. I didn't want to be alive anymore. And I told God, "You take me from this planet now, or you heal my wounds and you help me on this journey." And I meant it. I didn't want to take another breath. I was destroying my life. I couldn't take the pain anymore. But that pain, boom, 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 that destruction, boom, 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 it led me to find out the truth. It led me to seek, what is this life but just pain and misery? Surely there has to be something else. Surely I have to see my mum again. Surely my essence can never be killed. Death, an eternalness of nothingness. No, none of it made sense. It was all too traumatic, all too bleak, all too dark to accept as the truth. And so I searched through that pain, year after year after year, trying every which way to find the answer until I found meditation. And then I went inside. I went to a place beyond this world, a place I'd heard about but thought was a fairy tale. But I had to look to see if it was real, because this world weren't serving me no more. I had to find something else. I had to at least try. And if it was all a lie, then so be it. What have I lost? But I looked. And I seeked. And I found. I found the truth. That we do live beyond the body. That yes, I will see my mum again. And I can feel her essence and her spirit every day. Yes, God is real. Yeshua, Jesus Christ, real. All of it. The spirit world. The unconditional love. The near-death experiences. The mediumships, the psychics, the clairvoyance. The astrology. All of it. Aliens. Extraterrestrials. You know. The lot. All real. And I would never, ever, ever, never have found out that. Never have started this channel to try and help the human race remember who we really are through this great awakening. None of this would exist without that trauma. It was a beautiful, beautifully written story that is still unfolding for all of us. So if you are in a place of pain, remember you are not alone. And that it does not last forever. Pain is temporary. And if you're still in it, if you're still right in that pain, then keep pushing. Because that is going to be the fuel, the explosion that gets your engine moving. That pain is exactly what you need right now to keep asking these questions. Keep seeking for videos like this. Keep growing, keep healing, keep moving on up. Because there is only one way, and that is evolution. Whether you evolve to the left, right, up or down, you're going, you're changing, you're moving. Nothing stays static. And that includes the trauma that you're in. Whether you've been in it 10 years, 20 years, there is an end point, I promise you. If you had told me this 6, 7 years ago, I would have said, shut up. Pass me a can of Stella. I don't want to hear it. But I tell you these words today from my heart, that your pain will not last forever. And some of us, unfortunately or fortunately, once we see the bigger picture, some of us may be in pain till the day we pass over back home. That may not be something you want to hear, but there is something to be learned in that. There is some beauty in that. And it is potentially written in the game that we are not to understand that at this moment in time. Maybe the reason faith is so important is that there is no understanding of it while we are human. That we must have faith that there is something better. And that if we want to see better, we must be better. See the change you want to be. Because yeah, we've come down here for a game of polarity, but we have free will. So if the polarity's gone too far and we don't like what we see, then we are co-creators of this reality. Let's make a change. Let's make a real change. We can cast spells with these mouths, with our words. We can heal or kill with our tongue. So let's go out there and heal. There's a lot of people out there trying to kill, trying to do harm. Let's be the ones to heal. Let's use this mouth, these words. Remember, the word came first. The word will always come first. Before anything comes the word. And that is the power of the word. So are you going to use your words to kill today? Kill someone's dreams, kill someone's positivity? Or are you going to use your words to heal? Try and heal someone's life, heal someone's traumas. This is the power we all hold. And if we are aware and conscious of this, then yes, we can make Earth a better place. And those who choose to kill with their words will soon learn that there are far more of us that are choosing to heal with our words. Now guys, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it. I don't have my magic 8. Where's my magic 8 ball gone? Found it. Don't worry guys. We got the magic 8 ball. So, what's the question going to be today? We want a good one. We want a good question. We want to feel it. We want to feel the flow. Will humans ever truly understand what suffering means? Whoa! Let's see what it says. It is deadly so. Decidedly. It is decidedly so. Yes, the magic deadly. It's deadly so. Ah! It is decidedly so that, yes, human beings are heading towards a state of great awakening where we will start to understand the true meaning of suffering and embrace it into our powerful beings, because we know we are indestructible, eternal, and all-loving in the eyes of the divine and ourselves. So if you want to become a soul experiencer, you know what to do. We've got so many beautiful soul experience on this channel now. I learn from you guys as you guys learn from me. We learn from each other as we grow into one conscious, unified being of love and support to help in this great awakening. So I want to thank you for being down here on earth with me and all of us at this beautiful time. It is tough, but like I said, it is beautiful. And if there's one thing we like on earth, it's a little bit of beauty. So till next time, guys, look after those around you. Look after your pets, your siblings, your aunties and your uncles. But most of all, don't forget to look after yourselves, because if we don't look after ourselves, we can't give those around us the love they truly deserve, and then we can't receive the love we all truly deserve. So till next time, please take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Love you all. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care for now.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you, not the